Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a while, but that's besides the point. We're back and we are here. So this tutorial is going to be how to do a chrome French tip set. Um, I'm not really going to go too into depth with the rest of the tutorial. I'm just going to kind of really focus on the chrome French tip part of everything. But before we get into it, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I am doing my 500 subscriber giveaway and we are so close to that goal. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and are following me on all my social medias, which are down in the description below, to be entered into the giveaway. So without further ado, we're about to go ahead and get into this tutorial. So as you can see, I already pushed back their cuticles. I used my cone drill bit to go around the cuticles, exposing the entire nail and getting all of the nitty gritty out. And now I'm going in with my 180 sanding band and I'm just briefly going around the natural nails. This is what gets rid of all of the natural oils and gets them ready for the application phase. So I went ahead and put the tips on and cut them to her desired length. I did not film that part only because, like I said, this tutorial is mainly for the chrome French tip part of things. So if you want to see like a detailed tutorial, I have many of them on my page, so definitely go check them out. But for the sake of this video, we are just doing just a little brief run through. So I already have them cut to the desired length. We are keeping the square shape and we're doing short, obviously. So, you know, when you're doing French tips, square, in my opinion, looks the best when you're doing short length. So we're just going ahead and filing the sides at a 90-degree angle, making sure to pull the client's skin back so you do not cut them. I'm using an 80 grit file, which is the sharpest of the sharp. So it's handy because the shape be on point. The shape is literally everything, but you got to be careful because you can cut your client. The files are really sharp. You know, it takes a while for them to get dull, so you just want to keep that in mind. And then of course, when you're filing the free edge, you want to just file straight up and down at a 90-degree angle like so. And that will give you a nice clean square shape. Of course, you know, I always tell you ladies to flip the client's hand and look at it from different angles and fix anything if need be, as you can see I'm doing here. It's just really nice to be able to make sure that everything is straight and how it should be from multiple different points of view and not just one. So now I'm going in and doing those same steps on the thumb. And when you're filing, you kind of just want to make sure that you're taking your time and just not rushing through it. And I say that because the better prep you have, like the better of a prep you have, the less work you're going to have to do in the end. So taking your time on the shaping and the filing here and making sure everything is nice and precise will definitely save you time in the long run. So I definitely recommend that. So now I'm taking that same sanding band and I'm just going over where the natural nail and the nail tip meet and I'm just blending that in. That is really important because it helps with retention and helps really keep them nails on and lasting. I also like to file the nail tip and I feel like that just really helps with the adhesion of the acrylic. It's completely optional, but me personally, I just feel like it has made a big difference. Now I'm going in with my Mia Secret dehydrator. This is just getting rid of those natural oils one last time. And now I'm going in with the Young Nails Protein Bond. And this is what helps with the adhesion of the acrylic and, you know, holding down, keeping that retention, making sure that we avoid any and all lifting if possible. So those are two of your most important products. You must have them. They don't necessarily have to be them brands, but you do need a dehydrator and a primer for sure. So now I'm going in and just applying the acrylic. I'm using my Young Nails Cover Rosebud. You know, I always use this for my bases. I just love this acrylic so much. It's so buttery. It's so perfect. I don't have any issues using it. And as you can see, especially with this short set, I literally only had to use 2 beads. Like, that's how you know the acrylic is good, when you're not constantly having to go back in and add more and add more and add more. And I didn't it didn't apply too thick or too cakey or anything of that sort. So it's like, it's just perfect in my opinion. But with the short nails, as you can see, I learned how to use 2 beads, so it's pretty quick, pretty simple as far as the acrylic application goes when you're doing short square. I like to just say to place your first bead right where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and just kind of feather it down, lightly pat it down, and then we take the next bead and apply it right above that. And of course, as you can see, it's easy for the acrylic to kind of start to wander sometimes. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your nice clean shape, making sure to wipe the sides of the nails and the free edge, and just keeping that square shape. And when you apply this second bead, you do not want to apply it right at the cuticle. Just place it right above where you left off. And I say that because when you feather the acrylic down, when you pat it down, feather it, whatever term you want to use, it does move up a little bit. And so as you can see, I'm still having to wipe around the fingers, wiping around the cuticles, just to make sure I'm keeping it nice and clean. But when it does start to move up when you feather it down, you don't want it to flood on the cuticle area. So if you place it right on the cuticle, of course, when you do start to pat it and feather it and just work the acrylic down, it will flood over top of the cuticle, and now you have acrylic on the skin, and that is not good. That will definitely cause lifting, if not your nails to pop off. So that's just something that you really want to keep in mind. And just overall, it's uncomfortable for the client, and it's not a good look. It's just not it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just placing that second bead right above where I left off with the first bead, and I'm just lightly feathering it down. You don't want to drag, you don't want to pull, because then most of your acrylic will just be coming off on the brush, and you are completely just wasting acrylic at that point. So you just want to be gentle with it. Of course, you gotta have some pressure, but barely, little to none. Yeah, there's pretty much not much to really go into too much. Like I said, if you want to see a more detailed video on just acrylic application or acrylic, like doing an acrylic set in general, I definitely recommend going on my channel, because I have so many videos uploaded that go into a whole bunch of different designs, as well as acrylic application for beginners or prep, like all of the other detailed videos that you might want to know about or might want to see are on my channel. And if they are not, you can leave me a comment and I will do those right away. I always love when people comment and tell me they want to see this video or that video or this design, this set, whatever the case may be, because it's nice to know that I'm putting out content that is useful to people, and it's not just a waste. I like to be able to help people. I know how it is being not even just a beginner nail tech, because I was a beginner nail tech years ago, but I know how it felt being a beginner nail tech and not having the help that I felt like I should have had with having so many other nail techs around me. So now, with me being experienced, of course, I want to try to give back, and I want to help. Like I said, not only beginner nail techs, but just nail techs in general. I feel like we really have to stick together and help each other. And a lot of times, I feel like a lot of nail techs, or just people in the beauty industry, just people in general, honestly, love to gatekeep, and they love to, not really help one another. That's just really what it is in the end, is helping one another. And I feel like, especially when it's in an industry that is like entrepreneurship or something where people are making money off of it, I feel like people definitely don't like to help, because they feel like it's taking money out of their pockets or whatever the case may be. But in my head, my clients are going to come to me because they want to come to me, and people are going to, when my website gets up and running, buy off my website because they want to buy off my website, not because, I'm gatekeeping or because I'm not helping other nail techs. I can help other nail techs and still get my clients. I can help other nail techs and still make sales on my site. So, it's just really, I'm just going down a rabbit hole with that. That's just something that I really, feel so strongly about, is helping other nail techs, just helping people in general. So Anyways, this is what the nails look like after application. As you can see, they're super neat and clean. I love these. Literally in this moment, my client said she normally gets long, and she said, I would be terrified of feeling that pain again. It just is the worst. But as you can see with the thumb, I am making sure to kind of move it around just a little bit, and making sure that that is nice and straight. And now I'm going in with my ceramic drill bit, and I like to start off by filing under the curve of the nail, and that is just because, as you can see, when I was applying my acrylic, I like to press the brush flat up against the nail, and sometimes acrylic likes to sink under there, so I just like to use that, run it under there real quick, and just clean it up if need be. And then I'm going around the cuticles, so this step does two things, other than, cleaning up the curved part of the nail. We're sealing the cuticles, which is really, really, really important, y'all. If you want your ladies to have good retention and no lifting and be able to come back for them fill-ins, you have to be able to seal the cuticle. It's a super simple step. As you can see, I'm just taking my file and I'm going from one side of the cuticle to the other. And you're just making sure that the acrylic is nice and flat. You don't even have to do too much. You just want to make sure that it's all uniform. It's all nice and clean. It's not big and bulky. Um, and then the second step here is just filing the entire nail in general. And what that is doing is making sure that it's nice and smooth and ready for the design, or just in general. Even if she was keeping this nice, beautiful nude color, we still want the nails to be nice and smooth, nice and even, no lumps, no bumps. Um, Typically, this is a step you have to focus. You always have to focus on this, but especially if you're doing like longer nails, because it's super easy to see when you have imperfection in any nails other than short. I mean, short you can still see them, but it's very, very obvious in any other length other than short. So you just want to kind of take your time on this step. As you can see, I'm just, looking at them, moving the hand around, making sure everything is where it needs to be. You do not need to rush. I get that some people want to like to move quick, but it's better to have a good set than a rush set. So keep that in mind. Um, I didn't film it, but I did buff the nails, and then I had the client wash her hands. Buffing the nails is one of the most important steps also. It's the easiest, but it's the most important because it helps get rid of any scratches, any indents, like anything that may have been left over from that drill bit from filing them. So that's really important. It gets that surface of the nail nice and smooth and ready for this step, which here, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we are doing a chrome French tip set. So I think I'm going to do a detailed video on how to do French tip, but for now I'm just going to kind of briefly explain it. I like to use my thin liner brush, which I got a pack of these off Amazon. If you want the link, comment down below and I will reply to your comment with the link. But they were super, super cheap, and they came with so many different lengths and thicknesses. But I'm using the longest, thinnest brush, and I'm dipping it in my black polish. I think it's from Beetles. And I like to start by lining the sides sidewalls of the nails. And as you can see, I just kind of go back over. And I actually get excited and I'm like, okay, let's knock this out. Like, yes, these are about to be cute. Which, like I said, I'm going to do a detailed video that'll be coming in one of my next few videos on like how to do a good French. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And you guys are probably wondering, how am I doing a chrome set if I'm using black polish? Well, the answer to that is, with most chromes, whatever color you use for the polish, the chrome powder, depending on the color you use, will kind of reflect that. But when you use black or white polish, it's a little different. So with black polish, you can use any chrome powder over top of that, obviously, but it will give it more of a spacey, like a in-depth, like a true chrome, look. Versus if you use white, you get the chrome look, but it's not as deep, it's not as spacey. So usually when you buy the chrome powders, depending on where you get them from, like for instance, the one I'm going to use today, I got off of Amazon. It will show you and give you some examples of what it will look like if you use this color underneath, what it will look like if you use black, if you use white, whatever. So that kind of will, give you an idea of what it'll look like and if it'll give you the look that you're going for. So yeah, in this case, I wanted to give it that nice deep space effect. So I'm using black, and yeah, pretty much just going to be doing the same steps on all of the fingers. Like I said, outlining the outsides of the nails, working slow and just starting the curve on each side and slowly connecting them. I actually have an easier method. This one I was just kind of trying out, but when I do my French tip tutorial, I'm going to show you guys that method. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's broken down more into steps. So it kind of makes it easier. Like, so I was trying to work with less polish. the holographic powder will come with like this little eyeshadow palette user tool thing. I don't even know what to call it. But you would just dip your brush in the chrome powder and rub it onto the polish. Now, the best advice I can give, which I didn't even follow because I was just so worried about talking, is a little goes a long way. Literally, a little goes a long way. That's the best advice I can give when you're doing chrome. Because as you can see, I'm full blown just lobbing it on. And it's kind of getting on the skin and on the nude part of the nail. And if that happens, that's not that big of a deal. It is easy to clean, but it can kind of get tedious. So what I mean by that is you'll see that I kind of go back in with my cleanup brush and try to wipe the nude part because some of the glitter kind of like wandered off. And it doesn't stay like holographic powder. It goes to kind of like a glittery makeup type of vibe. So I don't know, but it just is, like I said, a little tedious because then when I go to clean it up, if I get too close with to the chrome, it will completely just wipe it right off. So then I don't know if you guys have ever done chrome before, but if you wipe it off, most of the time you got to just go back in and do the whole nail again. So that's a whole ordeal. But I'm lightly feathering, not feathering. I'm lightly brushing off the excess. And I say lightly. I'm very big on lightly because if you apply too much pressure or wipe too hard, it will just brush right off the nail. It's really fine. It's a really fine, soft powder. So as you can see, like I said, I'm just going in and carefully trying to clean up as much as I can off of the nude part with my acetone, and then I don't film the next part. But after I do this, I put on the gel top coat and let it cure for 60 seconds, and I go back in with a file or a buffer, and I kind of lightly go around the skin, and that's how I get that off. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the finished result. They're super cute and super pink. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to tune in for the new content that I'm about to drop. And yeah, until next time.